And now it's Sinner that's kind of the king of the sport. And when we talked this time last year,
that, but okay.
Well, I mean,
him and Alcaraz, yeah. In my opinion, if both guys played their best, Carlos Alcaraz is the better all-around player. This guy, Carlos Alcaraz, in my opinion, is the most talented young kid, 20, 21, 22, that I've ever seen on a tennis court. That's more than Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, who I have great respect for.
John McEnroe shared his opinion on Carlos Alcaraz, saying that the Spaniard is the most talented 22-year-old he has ever seen the sport produce, placing him above the iconic trio of Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal. McEnroe also insists that at his best, Alcaraz is a better player than his modern rival Jannik Sinner.
And now it's Sinner that's kind of the king of the sport. And when we talked this time last year,
that, but okay.
Well, I mean,
him and Alcaraz, yeah.
Okay, I'll get to that. But are they eye to eye in your estimation? Are we putting one above another? I mean, I know only one can be seeded one or ranked number one. Do you see them as eye to eye at the moment?
I give Sinner the slight edge at the moment, although when you look at just the head-to-head, it favors Alcaraz, and obviously
pretty significantly.
Very significantly, but this year you got to look at the fact that Sinner's won 2 of the 3 majors, wins Wimbledon for the first time, and overall he's more consistent. I think, though, this loss here that we're showing you at Wimbledon is going to give Alcaraz a little bit more of an edge. He looked, for him, like a little passive in that match. Like he couldn't believe that Sinner was just taking it to him, and I think he's going to come. He came here to New York thinking, okay, now I've got something to prove. So I give Sinner the slight edge, but I think Alcaraz is right there, and he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder right now.
You want 2 great players in any sport to play their best. In my opinion, if both guys played their best, Carlos Alcaraz is the better all-around player.
Okay.
If he brings A- or below, Sinner's going to beat him. That's what it boils down to. This guy, Carlos Alcaraz, in my opinion, is the most talented young kid, 20, 21, 22, that I've ever seen on a tennis court. That's more than Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, who I have great respect for. I idolize Rod Laver. I played Pete Sampras. This guy is astoundingly good.
Wow.
When he's on. One of the quickest guys has ever been on the court. Incredible personality. The attitude's amazing. He's got every shot in the book. Everything.
I mean, listen, when you say that, it really lands and it resonates, because I don't think that you're one to just heap praise on just adulation for no good reason. And I hear what you're saying. So it's those two are fantastic, but we're greedy because we had an era with the big 3 that was astounding for decades. If there is a third player, let's say it's an American, is there somebody that's poised? And because we're here, I suppose it's the inclination to ask that question. But is there an American that could at least join the conversation, someone that feels close? Who would that be?
My guy would be Ben Shelton. I think he's got an incredible attitude, the personality. He's got the game to back it up. I love his story. He played other sports. I've been preaching that at my academy with Patrick for years. He went to college to sort of mature a little bit. The guy was number 5 on the team his freshman year.
Right.
Won the NCAAs as a sophomore. It's happening slowly but surely. He's a way better player than he was when he joined the tour. He's a threat. He's lost to these guys. He lost to Alcaraz at the French. He lost to Sinner at Australia. He realizes there's a gap. There's a ways to go, but he's getting closer. And if I had to pick one guy, American, it would be him.
And Patrick, we were having this conversation earlier tonight, and I think I frame it this way because I watch all sports, and maybe this analogy falls flat. If it does, please tell me. But you see in other sports where there's a growth where you learn through defeat, and you advance a little bit, right? Maybe your Knicks to climb to hurdle. Maybe next year is to the finals. Maybe that's a process. Can that happen in tennis? Or is it maybe like, this is how good I am, but Alcaraz and Sinner are just better? I wonder, because the sport, they're not the same things.
I think there's a little bit of both, but in tennis, it's more like if they're better, they're better. And at the moment, Sinner and Alcaraz are better. Well, I love Shelton. I love his charisma, his moxie that he brings to the table. But if there's one American, I'm going to lean Tell or Fritz, because to your point, he made the final last year. Progression. He's been the most consistent guy. He's a little bit more like Sinner, where Shelton's a little bit more like Alcaraz. I mean, they're not quite at that level. Like, he's more consistent. He's more predictable. But I think that he's got the mindset, Fritz. Like, when he lost in the final last year and he lost in straight sets to Sinner, he was like, okay, he got a little bit of a taste of it. He wasn't close to winning, but he's close. He's knocking on the door, and I love his attitude. I mean, this guy's a professional. He desperately wants to win a major. He desperately wants to be the guy. And the good news for American tennis, and there's other guys other than Americans, like the guy we saw tonight, Zverev, the 3 seed, who's been in 3 major finals. But these guys are pushing each other, the American men, and that's a positive thing. Can they get over the hump? That's a question we all want to know the answer to.
I'm interested in both your opinion of where Sinner has taken himself in the time from we talked a year ago as the champion here, looking to be the first since Fed, and about 15 years ago, 16 years ago, to do it again. Where has he taken his game? Is it to a place now that noise that surrounded him and the questions in the past is gone?
Yeah, I know his coach, his original coach when he was a kid, Riccardo Piatti, who did a great job with him. Mm-hmm. But he felt like he needed something more. Just like Coco's decided to get a new coach. Darren Cahill is one of the greatest coaches you'll ever see in any sport. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's coached in Agassi. He coached Simona Halep. He coached Leighton Hewitt. He's done a number with Jannik Sinner, made him more a believer, changed his serve, worked the aspects. He's incredible in and out of the corners. But Jannik Sinner is playing at a level that I didn't anticipate it would be that high at this point in his career. I am very amazed that he's this good. I've watched him for years. He's a great kid. He went through a lot of turmoil with these, doping violations. I don't know exactly what's happened in terms of like what went on, but the bottom line is there was a lot of pressure here when he played. He handled that. He went to Australia. It was revisited. He handled that great. He got 3 months. Maybe that could have helped him a little bit to sort of regroup. So all in all, he's been a huge plus for our game.
Did he have this kind of ceiling in your mind, Patrick?
Well, first of all, methodically ruthless is a great way to describe him. This helped big time what happened to Sinner, because last year when he came here, there was a swirling amount of controversy around him coming here. He had a lot to deal with. It hadn't been made public that he'd had this doping allegation against him. It all came out last summer. He had a lot to deal with. He didn't like it at all, understandably. Mm-hmm. So the answer is yes, this made him a much better player because he got tougher. He got mentally tougher. His game is unbelievable to watch. Nobody's hitting the ball as big and as clean as him off the ground ever in the history of tennis. That's how good he's hitting the ball. And it's made him a much better player.
22 consecutive matches won on hard courts. He's 5 short of your number from 79 to 82, 5th longest streak of all time. So he's playing at an incredibly high level, but so is Alcaraz, and you mentioned that, John. I'm going to stay with you, Patrick, just for your first thought on this. Are they eye to eye in your estimation? Are we putting one above another? I mean, I know only one can be seeded 1 or ranked number 1. Do you see them as eye to eye at the moment?
I give Sinner the slight edge at the moment, although when you look at just the head-to-head, it favors Alcaraz, and obviously
pretty significantly.
Very significantly, but this year you got to look at the fact that Sinner's won 2 of the 3 majors, wins Wimbledon for the first time, and overall he's more consistent. So I give Sinner the slight edge, but I think Alcaraz is right there, and he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder right now.